festival. This is a beautiful event. It's a beautiful site.
Right. What? You have a new album out, and tell me a little bit about your new album.
It's called Stronger For It.
Okay.
It's got 3 original co-writes by myself and Dave Darling.
Okay.
Dave's my producer. In 2011 I had the best touring year I've ever had. It was a great year for work. In a personal sense, it was a very hard year.
Okay.
A lot of losses. And I also made a record. So all of it comes out on the record. One of the other standout things about the new CD is simply that there's original material co-written by me on it. That's unusual, and it's the touring band on the record. So what people buy is what they see when they come to a show, and what they hear. What you see is what you get.
Okay. So were you attempting with this new album? Were you attempting to break new ground with it in terms of writing songs yourself? And
not necessarily. It was just kind of time.
Okay.
More than anything, it was time to start that. I'm always very reluctant about that. It makes me very nervous. There's so many great songwriters out there, and I'm fairly new at it.
Right. Tell me who some of the people were you listened to the most when you were coming along in terms of music. Some of the people who really influenced you, other musicians, singers, guitarists, whatever.
There's a really long list. The greatest, if I had to pick one, the greatest influence for me, I think as an artist and probably as a woman, would be Etta James.
Okay.
I saw her live the first time when I was in my early 20s, and it was a total game changer for me. It was devastating. It was great. Lots of country blues, Sun House, Memphis Minnie, Kansas, Joe McCoy, Bessie Smith, certainly. And there's like the soul thing. I love Little Milton, which is like blues, Christianity, soul, Little Milton used to. And then there's just straight up soul music, James Brown, Aretha Franklin, all of that kind of material. The list is endless.
Right. Now you're from Detroit. That's Motown territory.
That's
did that influence you at all? The Motown bands coming along?
I'm sure I'm not.
It's okay.
Absolutely. I mean, that would, I listened to Detroit radio when I was a little girl, so I'm sure that there's that influence there. There always was great radio in Detroit. There still is.
Okay. One thing I noticed is that you, I'm just going by what there's a lot of gospel influence. It sounds to me like there's a lot of gospel influence in how you sing. Did you listen to a lot of gospel performances?
Not when I was a kid, but later on, yes. I'm especially fond of actually the Aretha Franklin gospel material.
Okay.
Mahalia Jackson, certainly Al Green, which is soul and gospel.
Okay.
There's some great old stuff. The Mighty Clouds of Joy. Love that stuff.
Okay.
So I feel like I've been very lucky to have been exposed to some really tremendous artists, and that started at a young age for me, and it just sort of seems to keep going.
Okay. Now, I also noticed that you sang on the latest album by Blackie and the Rodeo Kings. Mm-hmm. Tell me how that happened, or what that. And I did an interview with them, by the way. It's further back, and they kind of gave me their side of what happened, but their side of how you got together. But I just,
Colin Linden, who's in Blackie and the Rodeo Kings.
Right.
Excuse me. Colin Linden and I worked together on a couple of different records.
Okay.
For Northern Blues, and he's very talented. And so when they were doing the Blackie and the Rodeo Kings, Kings and Queens record,
right.
He called me up and said, "Hey, I'm in LA, and if you're available, and we've got this track, we'd love you to sing on it." And I said, "Absolutely, I'd love to." So I just kind of showed up and did it. It was really fun. Okay. And I love those guys. They're magnificent.
Right.
They're great. I got to sing live with with last summer at the Edmonton Folk Festival. It was really fun. My band was playing the blues stage. They were playing the other stage, and so I got to get up and sing with them on a couple numbers. It was great.
Great. Are there other performers that you're going to perform with anytime soon, or other collaborations that you have in the works right now?
Nothing scheduled right now.
Okay. Are there any collaborations that you'd like to have in the works?
I always am reluctant to answer that question because I'm sure I forget somebody. Let me say this: I'm very open to the idea of it. You know, I feel like I'm in the best place I've ever been in my career, and I feel like I'm in the best place I've ever been in my life. Really, it's such a blessing to do this. It's such a gift. You know, to be able to do what I love to do and travel around the world. I've got the best band, the best touring ensemble I've ever had. More good luck, you know, more good fortune. It's great.
Wow.
I'd love to collaborate with, you know, some other folks that are out there. That would be really fun.
I'm sorry, with who?
With other folks that are out there, that would be really fun.
Oh, tell me how your band came together. The band that you're working with now.
Well, the drummer's been with me about 2 years. It's a fella I know from LA area, although he's from St. Louis originally. Organ player has been with me a little over 2 years. He just showed up one day as a sub for my other keyboard player who had been with me about 5 years. There was time to make a change on that chair, so I was really grateful to have run across Jim Alfredson. Gary Davenport's been my bass player and road manager for 10 years.
Okay.
Zach Zinnes and I have been friends for about 28 years. We've known each other. He's been on many of my records, and I'm really grateful to have him in the touring band for the last 5 years.
Okay. Now, I know a little bit about your background. You've had some hard knocks coming along, and just thinking of those days now, from where you are now. I mean, I just saw you talk to 500 fans almost. What goes through your mind when you think about those days, what you've left in your past?
How lucky I am.
Okay.
It's true. I'm so fortunate. I'm so lucky. This is the best part of my life. It really is. You know, I'm 55 now. I feel, you know, this is like the end game, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
In a good way, right? And
same age as me.
yeah, you know, so it's like, it's just amazing. If I got hit by a bus or dropped dead tomorrow, tonight, honest to God, it would have been enough. It's an amazing life. It's an amazing journey.
Wow. Because I see you on Facebook all the time, and you're like, oh, I'm in Walla Walla, Washington, and I'm going to be at such and such a place, and you know, I'm really looking forward to it, and so on and so forth. What do you think of this festival?
It's beautiful. It's everything everybody always said it was. They're like, oh my God, you're playing Chesapeake. What a great spot. What a great, you know, everything's really great, and it's been wonderful. Really glad to have been on it.
Okay. One other thing is I wanted to ask you, you're involved with the National Foster Care Month. Tell me a little bit about your involvement in that issue, how that came about, you know, what ties you to that issue emotionally, just everything about that.
I am alumni of the foster care system. That means I was in the foster care system, went through it, and came out the other side. I was asked 6.5 years ago by Casey Family Programs division in Seattle, Washington, to step forward as a spokesperson for National Foster Care Month because they see me as a success story. The reason I am a success story is because somebody stood up for me when I couldn't stand up for myself. I got the right fit in a foster placement. And it didn't just change one thing in the life of a kid that was in trouble. It changed everything. It changed the end of the story. So I'm happy to talk about that. I mean, I got all the Jerry Springer stories you need, but the point is, for the job as spokesperson is to encourage and inspire more good people to step forward for youth at risk, because that's what we need. We need more good people. I'm also the ambassador for Foster Care Alumni of America, which is a huge organization that focuses on improving legislation for alumni and the resources that are available for alumni. It's also a sort of a clearinghouse for alumni resources, and that's based out of Washington, D.C. So they're two causes that are really close to my heart. I'm very passionate. I'm really two-fisted about that stuff, so it's great.
Wow.
More good luck.
Yeah. Now, you did mention that there was somebody who stood up for you. Who was that person?
That was my last foster placement. I had 12 foster placements in 2 years. And her name was Carrie. She changed everything. Really grateful to her. I owe her. That's the debt that can never be repaid. Understand me? I can never repay what she did for me.
What did she do?
So then it's about paying it forward.
Right.
She stood up for me when I couldn't stand up for myself. She was a loving adult with boundaries. She was not afraid to love me in kind of some of my most unlovable states as a young girl. Very brave woman. Very brave.
Did she encourage your interest in music?
Totally. She was the first one who said to me, you know, honey, she used to hear me sing along with the stereo and stuff at the house, and I thought I was alone, and of course I wasn't. And she said one day, you know, you really do have a beautiful voice, you know, you should maybe follow that. I was terrified. I was mortified. But she really encouraged that.
Was there a time when you just thought, I mean, we all sing. When I was 12, I used to sing that Temptation song, Just My Imagination, in front of the mirror, but I never dreamed of being a singing professional singer. Was there a point in your life when you just realized that it was more than avocation, more than just a hobby, or more than just something you like to do, than something perhaps you could do, would be a life's calling?
Well, that's about 15 questions, so let me just answer one of them.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm a very late bloomer.
Okay.
I was bitten very early by the bug of this music.
Okay.
And the desire, the obsession for it. And I probably didn't fully commit to it until I was about 40.
Okay.
I was doing it, but I didn't really fully commit to it until I was about 40.
And that's when things started to take off?
A little bit. Yeah. I'm pretty stubborn.
Yeah. Wow.
One more question.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you eat. Where now? What do you have? What will you be doing for the next 6 months?
Continuing to tour in support of the new record.
Okay.
We're going wherever people want us to come. There's going to be another East Coast tour in the fall. Folks can check JanivaMagnus.com for information about that. JanivaMagness.com.
Okay.
And looking forward to seeing folks on the blues campus. Really looking forward to it.
Are there any gigs that you're especially looking forward to?
Really all of them. They should check the website.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much.